We didn't have indoor plumbing. We take a
Yo,
the sink.
I read that. I read you didn't take a shower until you were 15.
Well, I went to a 4-H camp, but I didn't take a shower in a home until I was 20. My brother got us a home when he went pro. So that was the first time I actually took a shower in a home.
What was that like? You beat off?
Man, I was like, because for the longest time, we bathed in tubs. We had to draw well water.
Wow. So you're going to get the water in buckets, putting it in the tub, and then heating it?
Well, we'd heat a lot of times, like in the summertime, we would fill the tub, a tin tub.
So you fill it outside. It heats up throughout the day.
Leave it in the sun.
Yeah.
And heat it up so when we come home from work, we take a shower, take a bath in the tub.
From not having like plumbing or indoor, like a shower, to where you are right now. Holy.
How you doing, YouTube family? Today is Thursday, March the 20th, 2025. Is your man Big D, and I'm back with another one. I want to thank all you good folk out there in YouTube land that continue to rock out with my son and I. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Well, family, looking at this short video where Shannon Sharpe was reminiscing what it was like when he was growing up, it brought back a lot of memories for me. When Shannon was telling his story as to how when he was growing up, the first time that he took a shower was in a house that his older brother bought for him and the grandmother that raised Shannon Sharpe. That was the first time this man took a shower. And I can remember when I was growing up, for whatever reason, my mom had the 2-in-1 setup where you had the tub and the shower. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But for whatever the reason, nobody was ever allowed to take a shower except mama. And oftentimes, even she didn't take showers. She took the bath. And maybe it came from a place of her being a old school kind of woman, and just maybe to her, how she grew up, baths were the thing to take. But yes, I can remember the times where we didn't have much. My mom, she always worked 2 jobs and always found a way to make ends meet. But I can tell you this, family, I don't remember one night when I was a child where I ever went to bed hungry. I don't remember one bad storm where the roof was leaking and raindrops was falling on my head. I didn't have much. We didn't have much, but my mom she gave us all the things that we needed to be productive adults and citizens. And because I grew up not having a lot, I always carried that mindset with me. And even when I, as an adult, got to a place where I, started earning wealth and making money, I always kept that frugal mindset, because I remembered how hard the struggle was for my mom. And I remember how she always said, save your money. Just cause you got it, don't spend it, because you never know when a rainy day gonna come. And even to this day, I still move like that. Even being in a pretty good place as far as financial wealth is concerned, I still move like I'm broke as a joke. And I believe that as long as you move like you broke as a joke, you'll always have money. That's right, family. Some of us are wealthy, but some of us move like we're poor. And I always say, and I always tell my son, it ain't all about show and tell and bragging about, how big your house is or what you're driving. Now, if somebody so happens to see me getting out of my car, or someone so happens to see, my house or whatnot. That's one thing. But I would never be boastful to brag about the material things that I have. And that was something else that my mother taught us. Never ever forget where you came from. Never ever get to the point in life that you are so high and mighty that you sit on high and you look down at everybody else. Because here's the thing. The rise to the top of the mountain, the struggle is real and it's very difficult. But the fall from grace can happen ever so easy. So family, I'm here to tell you that you must always remember where you came from. You must always remember that, yes, you got money today, but yesterday, perhaps you didn't have any money. Maybe, your luck changed and now you're wealthy, and now you in a place where money is not such a hard thing for you to acquire. But you must always remember where you came from. You see, family, I don't care if I was Jeff Bezos rich, Elon Musk rich, Tyler Perry rich, Oprah Winfrey rich, Jay-Z rich. I don't care how rich I ever became. I will always have the frugal mindset. And I will always move like I ain't got nothing but $50 in my bank account. I will always move like that, because as long as you move like you are poor, you will always have money. As long as you go through life and live like you are poor and you struggling to make it to the next payday, you will always have money. And I'm not saying not to do nice things for yourself, because I am a firm believer that when you have done the work, you have paid the cost, you have denied yourself perhaps the finer things, because in your mind, I don't really need this. Do I really need these pair of Jordans? Do I need to go out here and pay $90,000 for this car? Do I need to go out here and drop $3 million on a house? Family, I'm here to tell you, sometimes we as people, we get so caught up with keeping up with the Joneses that we oftentimes forget where we came from. And one thing my mother always said, keeping up with the Joneses, or trying to keep up with the Joneses, will put your ass in the poorhouse. And for those of us who struggled, scraped, fought to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and get ourselves out of the poorhouse, we know how difficult it was. But I also understand there are those of us who grew up poor. Mother didn't have a lot, family didn't have a lot, but they just so happened to make it big. Maybe they had a talent where they were a pretty good football player, or maybe they were a artist of some sort. And I know that there are those of us that once we make it and we get that bag of money, we go spinning it and spinning it and spinning it like we got a money tree in the backyard, not realizing that, fool, one day this money could be gone. So family, I'm here to tell you, always remember where you came from. Always keep the humble mindset. And if you ever need an example, go back and look at this video. Listen to Shannon Sharpe, how he talks about how the struggle was hard, and for him and his brother, all they had was football. That was their way out. And I remember growing up in the hood where we would say, man, you know what? I want to go to college, but man, mama just ain't got it. I don't know how I'm going to get there. And for most of us, it was by way of some type of sport, football, basketball, baseball, who knows? But even still, I still remember that the struggle was not only real for my mom, but it was real for me. Because family, one thing about it, if your mother or whoever was providing for you when you were growing up, if the struggle was real for them, the struggle was also real for you, because the old saying that the inch rolls downhill, that's 100% factual. So family, in closing, I want you to understand that, yes, when you work hard, you should reward yourself. Hard work should be rewarded, but not to the extent that you put yourself in the poorhouse. Because rich people pretend to be poor, and poor people pretend to be rich. But I am happy that I still see people like Shannon Sharpe, and I understand, man, you know what? The same way that this brother grew up and didn't have a lot, but look at him now. That is motivation for people like me. Because although I am in a good place, I feel, I always remember that I wasn't always in a good place. And I remember how hard it was, you know, going through school and going through this and going through that, jumping through the hoops of life, chasing success. But one thing that stands out the most to me is this: once you attain success, you must always remember what it took you to get there. Well, family, always remember, be more tomorrow than you were yesterday. Peace.